let's go ahead and get into matchup of the ages, old versus new, good, the bad, and the ugly versus the Two Towers. I can't believe that this is the matchup. This is a massive matchup.
Yep.
So I'm gonna.
It's a long run time on both sides.
If you watch both of these movies back to back, it takes 4 weeks, and so
they both got IMDb 8.8s.
Yeah,
and Rotten Tomatoes a 2% differential.
But that's
from critics.
That's super close, though. Super close. I want to jump in, as I always do. I get to pick the old movie, and I got some help, though. I got some help, and I'll tell you where I got some help later on in the episode. But here we have the ultimate of spaghetti westerns, right? This was a $1.2 million budget, and it brought in $39 million in the box office. So that was a hit. This was definitely a classic of 1966. This was actually kind of ironic in a way. So when we did some filming in southern Spain for Discover Tradition, I actually got to learn a lot about spaghetti westerns. So
really,
it's a term. Yeah, it's a term. So the spaghetti western, people think, well, it's that means they have to be shot in Italy. It's actually not the case. Sometimes they are shot in southern Italy, but spaghetti westerns are low budget films that have an Italian production team. And in this case, it's definitely Sergio Leone is the director.
Does it have to just be an Italian director, or how much of the crew?
The crew is almost all Italian. So what happened is that there's a place in Andalusia, specifically for this film. It was Almeria. That's where the cemetery scenes, the desert scenes, they were all in Almeria, which is the southern province of Spain in Andalusia. And that's where they shot almost 80% of spaghetti westerns. The other 20% were shot in southern Italy, but most of them were shot in Spain. So let's go back to this amazing classic film. Everybody's heard of this. And that was
first time I saw it.
It's the first time you saw it?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you actually watch the whole thing?
I did.
Man, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Everybody knows that music, and that is Ennio Morricone.
Iconic.
Absolute iconic. This was Clint Eastwood's masterpiece as well. So this is what...
Why?
Well, I'm going to talk about it.
Tell me.
I'm gonna.
I dare you.
I am going to literally take these notes and tell you, Mr. O'Hearn, what's going on. All right, but I like to give you guys some facts, so let's go with some facts. This was the film that propelled this genre to the mainstream, all right? The very first film was Fistful of Dollars. That was kind of the trilogy of spaghetti westerns by Sergio Leone was Fistful of Dollars, 1964, A Few Dollars More, 1965, and then this film, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 66.
So they're all about money.
They're all about spaghetti. No, they're all westerns. And his other big hit, which people say was Sergio Leone's biggest hit, was Once Upon a Time in the West. That was done in 68, which pretty much kind of ended the spaghetti westerns. So Sergio was the king of spaghetti westerns by far. Absolutely Italian. We talked about Ennio Morricone, who did this iconic score, this score that he composed. When you say The Good and the Bad, the Ugly, the first two words I think of are Clint and Eastwood. Mm-hmm. Every time anybody talks about that. So let's talk about Clint real quick, and then we're going to talk about the movie. He wasn't Catholic. Actually, he's still alive. He's 95, and he's not Catholic. So we need to convert him. So let's go get him.
Let's do it.
Let's go get this guy. He was fired by Universal in 1959 because of his Adam's apple, because he talked too slow and he had a chipped tooth. So they were like, you're gone, you're fired. He got the lead role in Fistful of Dollars because James Coburn wanted 25 grand. The lead role went to James Coburn, but Clint Eastwood was like, look, I'll do it for 15,000. And he got the deal. He got the role. He wore the same poncho in all three of those movies, Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The same poncho, and he never washed it. That was something that he said he was really proud of, is he never had to wash it. He landed the leading role in Dirty Harry, 1971, for guys like us, Keith, who know Clint Eastwood, and he did the Dirty Harry series. It was actually, they were going to give that role to Frank Sinatra.
What?
But yes,
That's
but
terrible.
Frank couldn't hold a gun to save his life. That's literally what happened. So Clint Eastwood got the role.
Make my day.
Yes,
He thinks it's like a microphone.
Yes.
What do I do with this?
Yeah. So,
So is it even good, Tony? Is
Clint-
it even good? Is
Oh.
the movie good?
okay. Let me say this. Clint Eastwood turned down playing James Bond. He turned down playing Superman. He turned
Whoa.
down playing John McClane in Die Hard.
What?
He turned down all three of those roles because he wanted to be a director, and he only likes to shoot one take. When Matt Damon asked him for a second take, Clint Eastwood said, "Why? So you can waste everybody's time?"
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Here's my quick. I'm torn on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because growing up and having watched this before, I thought, oh yeah, guns a-blazing, all this stuff. But when I watched it recently, what hit me was the amount of violence that this particular film has. And I'm looking at things through kind of a different lens. So it was, okay, the violence is a lot for me. And I was looking at things through that moral lens as well, which I certainly didn't look through when I watched this the first 2 or 3 times that I watched it. So I'm gonna say that this movie is obviously, it's a classic. It is a spaghetti Western. Those movies were very violent. I mean, that's just the way that they were. But I'm torn, and I want to hear what you guys think about this. Public schools are out of control, and homeschooling isn't for everyone. But what about Catholic schools? Even many Catholic schools are drifting away from the faith. Is your Catholic school one of them? The next generation is at risk of forgetting their Catholic tradition and losing their faith. That's why we love the work of the St. John Henry Newman Institute. They help revitalize Catholic schools. They train leaders, give grants for schools in need, and build roadmaps to help schools transform their curriculums. The John Henry Newman Institute is the guide that Catholic schools need, and it's simple. At jhni.org, schools go through a simple application and assessment process and receive a tailored transformation plan so that their Catholic school can embrace tradition and teach the fullness of the faith. Whether you work at a Catholic school or just drop your child off there, make sure your school joins the John Henry Newman Institute network so that you can get peace of mind knowing that your Catholic school is really fully Catholic. Learn more and join us at jhni.org, accelerating the renewal of Catholic education. That's jhni.org, jhni.org.
Yeah, I think we would probably spend most of this segment just talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly because we're going to be talking about Two Towers a lot later because we're ranking
You're
it.
ranking it.
And people know what the Two Towers is.
Right.
I mean, very quickly, I'll explain what the Two Towers is. It's the second Lord of the Rings movie in the trilogy. You had the breaking of the Fellowship in the previous movie. The hobbits were being taken to Isengard by the Uruk-hai, these big monsters. And then 3 from the Fellowship, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are chasing after them. We have Frodo and Sam who get joined by Smeagol, by Gollum, and the 3 of them are trying to find a way into Mordor. So you have these different areas of Middle Earth, different storylines. And then you have Merry and Pippin who get lost in the forest eventually. And then there's this great big battle. It's like the first big battle in Lord of the Rings because in the first movie, there was a battle, but it wasn't like a big epic scale.
It was a huge battle in Two Towers.
So
it was huge.
Yeah, I want to let's go back to Good, Bad, and the
Okay.
Ugly. So, it's to me, is a movie violent or not? It doesn't yet tell me if it's a good movie. I mean, the example we always point to is The Passion of the Christ, right? Very violent.
Okay, good point. Good point.
I think
There's also a type of violence.
it's what's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
You know, you can easily think of extremes, right? Where you have a movie that should be violent because it's a war movie and it's
Sure.
like so like, you know, pared down that it's not compelling at all. But then you can obviously on the other extreme, just a glorification of violence. So, I mean, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it is so confident and cool. I know it's going to stick with me for a long time. Clint Eastwood is so darn cool.
Cool.
The score is so confident. I was telling this to Tony the other day. Like, a lot of composers just like, what kind of classical instrumentation should I use? And it all kind of sounds samey. In like most films, I couldn't pick out what the score is. I love films that are so confident in their score. It's just like, no, I don't care what everyone else has done.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. Really? You want to do this? It's like, yes. And it worked. Like the score is so iconic. Some of the scenes are so iconic. There's a funny, this made me laugh out loud. Tuco is trying to read this note that was left for them. And he says, see you soon. And then Blondie takes it and says, idiots. It's for you. Reads it for him. Idiots. It's for you.
So
It's great. The script is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue is all super smart, super compelling, but that doesn't yet get to the goodness of the movie. So we can get into that, but I want to hear Keith's thoughts.
And Keith, I want you to, I know we're going to be doing a segment next on
That's true.
your top 4. So,
Just kind of hedge that, or
well, you can say whatever you want to say.
okay. Well, I will hedge it a little bit.
Okay.
But I will say this. I saw that movie for the first time when I was like 13 years old. It was coming on TV, and I just, for some reason, this was not the kind of movie I would have ever watched. I'd never watched any Westerns. I've never liked any Westerns. But for whatever reason, when I was like 12 years old, that movie was coming on TV, and I watched it, and it's never left me. Like, it's always been there for me and there's something about this guy, Sergio Leone, from the opening. He's so freaking gutsy, man, with how he shot this movie. The opening scene of this landscape, and this dude's face just walks right in front of it.
Yeah.
And the camera just hangs there like awkwardly long time. And he does that all movie. That is the movie of faces.
Yeah.
He tells you the story of faces with how he directs. They don't even have to say anything. But he's right there in your face, just looking at this guy. And you're like, whoa, what is happening? And the music, beyond epic.
Yeah.
The way that they stretched out scenes that last far too long, but
Too long.
Yeah.
but you're just like, it builds so much.
Yeah.
And I probably watched that movie 4 or 5 times before I really understood all the intricacies of what was going on with the plot. Because the other thing that you notice about the gutsiness of this movie, it's probably 5 minutes before there's even a single word spoken.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
What movie have you ever seen where so much happens before anyone even talks?
Yeah.
It's rare. Yeah.
There's so many things like that in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that shouldn't make sense, but they're just like, wow. It just, to me, it's an iconic classic, and it's one that I've never seen another movie like it. Even the other 2 spaghetti westerns, I don't think they were anywhere as good as it.
I would agree with that.
I like those 2, but
Yeah.
this one's alone.
This was iconic in how he pulled everything off. I'm trying to still wrestle with the storyline. So I agree with everything. I agree that it's iconic every step of the way. I'm with you. I didn't remember watching it before, but this time that I watched it recently, I was like, now that's an opening. That is an opening. I mean, he's just like, this is how we're going to do this. And this guy kept stretching the limits.
Well, the standoff at the end is iconic too.
Their face. I mean, he's right there. How he goes between their faces and their hands, and you see this happening, and there's so much tension that builds with the music, and then
they're in a graveyard.
They're in a graveyard, and then the camera starts spinning.
Yeah,
and you're just like, you feel like your whole world is about to just come crashing down at the end of this movie, and then
that was insane.
You think it's over. And then there he comes with that horse at the very end.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, how they tied that back. I don't know how much we want to get into that story, but their little scheme where they pretended to hang him, and Clint shot the rope. And then at the very end, it's the same thing reenacted.
Yep.
And he leaves the money there just to prove the point.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So with that being said,
I haven't hedged very well.
No, it's okay.
I like this movie.
No, it's okay. I know you like it. I know you like it. I absolutely.
It's very likable. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I will say that. Very cool. But
do you have any
need to talk.
issues with the morality of it? Like, so.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Talk to me, because that's where I'm having a hard time with.
Yeah. Okay. A good movie can't just be an entertaining movie. If our criteria was entertaining, first of all, it would just be subjective, and secondly, it wouldn't say whether or not it's an objectively good movie. Because if we're just talking about subjectively good, it's just like we're debating your favorite color, right? At the end of the day. When I look at what this film is saying, Blondie's called good, and then there's an ugly and a bad, but they're all ugly and bad. Like, they're all broken.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that should be dealt with. Like the fact that, so early on in the film, Blondie betrays his friend, right? He leaves him to hang.
Yeah.
Was he ever really his friend, though?
I don't know.
Think about it.
He gave him his word, and then he let him hang. That is a villain. And yeah, I have the capacity to be a villain. There is evil in all hearts. But what I want out of a movie is, and the church documents talk about this, is the formation of the moral personality. So like, as a movie, objectively, if I was saying, is this movie cool? Is it entertaining? I would say absolutely 10 out of 10. But is it good? When I think of morally, the bad people or the bad decisions don't get punished. They get punished in some aspects. The bad character gets his comeuppance. Ugly and good, even though they do bad, ugly things throughout the movie, don't get their comeuppance. In fact, they get money. You said Blondie left his money there. Did he leave his money, or Tuco left?
He left Tuco's money. Like, he could have taken all the money with him, but he left Tuco. One for you, one for me.
They got money. And to me, that's like, as a moral film, as a good or bad film, I'm just like, okay, they lied, they cheated, they stole, they betrayed, to varying degrees of awfulness, but then in the end they get their money, and it was very cool. So that's where I land with this movie.
So real quick, I want to say something, and then I want to ask Keith a question. I want to say this. I watched The Two Towers only one time in my life with you.
Yep.
Right here.
And I was like, that's a Hobbit.
You did help me. Dude, that was very helpful. I was not impressed.
Oh my God.
I was not impressed. But I want Keith, question.
Yes, sir.
I just killed Cam.
Well, we can talk more about that when I
He even
rank
put
it.
his jacket on for
No,
that.
I know.
But I'm going to put another jacket on over this.
Yeah.
Because you said
Double
that.
jacket. Keith, tell me.
Hit me.
What's the moral of this story? The good, the bad, and the ugly. What's the moral of the story?
Well, okay. I understand Cameron's point, and I would agree with you that, it's really hard to find the good in that, which to me is the good in that. To me, it's a picture of almost like, there's a couple things going on here. Like, how you could look at it like this. These two guys betray each other so many times, but yet like that, they can work together. Did you notice that? So they betray. So there's the time when the man with no name, okay, because Clint Eastwood's character doesn't have a name. He calls him Blondie, but that's just his nickname. He's literally called the man with no name.
Okay.
Okay. He betrays Tuco, right?
Yep.
And then Tuco goes and gets him, marches him across the desert,
Right.
nearly
Right.
kills him, you know.
Right.
But yet then they come together to go find the money because one's got the name of the secret,
Right. Right.
But one knows the name of the grave.
Yep. It's very cool.
And that's what I think is so cool about this is like, despite how much and these both of these men are complete loners, yet they need each other. In some weird way, they're connected through this, and they have to get past all of their hatred of each other, all of their betrayal to accomplish this common good of getting this money. Now, you might say, well, that's not a very good thing, but yet at the same time, there's something there that I think is really interesting about the human condition of saying, I need to put aside my differences with this person, even things that this person has done that's horrible to me. And we have to work together to get through this scenario.
So here's what we got to do. We got to vote. And I'm going to just throw this out there. For 7 episodes, I've voted for the old.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't vote for the old, even though this is the classic of classic movies. I did not like The Two Towers. I'm just going to come out and say that.
Why?
then you have to vote for the old because the old is awesome.
So
It's cool, but it's all about the money. That's the point.
It's
so-
like, oh, I can work with you.
What
if
do you
we
think
get
the
money
ring
out of
is?
it.
What? He has
It's
to
a ring.
destroy
It's
it.
all about money. It's
He
all
has to
about
destroy it.
Well,
That's
yeah.
why.
Well, you don't know. Maybe Clint was going to go give that to a bunch of like starving kids somewhere.
Maybe he's gonna throw it in a volcano and destroy
Exactly.
it. We never know.
You don't judge this man.
So you're voting for The Two Towers, right,
Two
Cameron?
Towers. You know why? I did my research.
What's that? Okay.
I counted all the words in the title. Did you know that The Two Towers has 8 words and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly has 7 words in it? It's a better movie.
Okay. Keith, your vote.
100%. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
my
And I will
gosh.
say this. I love The Two Towers.
Okay. I didn't like The Two Towers. I'm torn on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly because I'm having a hard time seeing the good, but I have to vote because we have to move on. And I'm going to vote for the movie that is the best of the 2 movies.
Of the two
movies, and I'm gonna have to go with Old again, The Good, the Bad, and the
That's
Ugly.
my boy.
Why?
I just couldn't take The Two Towers.
Gen X for the win, boy.
I couldn't take it. But here's the great thing: we're gonna talk about The Two Towers when
Get
we
him
rank
in the comments,
when we-
guys. I
when
need
we
your
rank
help.
every movie ever. So don't go away. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get Fat Cardinal. Hype it now.